So let's talk about futures. Futures had me tied in knots for a lot. I've kind of finally figured out how to look at it from a higher time. Futures, if you kind of compare and contrast stocks options with futures are always repricing information. It is 24/7 repricing information. So it's a constantly fluid dynamic. So you can't go back. It's harder to go back on past like we did here, right? We kind of Walmart, or we look way back in time, right, to get structure. Futures, you're really looking at session to session trend. Can y'all see stuff on my screen? Okay, so let's talk about futures. So futures is more about session to session progression. So let's look at an example with gold. Okay, so I got MGC set up. As you see here, I always start with, unless there's some big, now we did have a big move in this case in the London session that you see right here. You can see right here, sometimes when you get like a big move in one session, it will create what I call like a kind of like a range bound condition where it may try to consolidate within that for a while. So you do have to be careful with that. But generally, what I look at is, first of all, what happens during the Tokyo, and then see how the London treats it, right? Does the London session respect a high of the Tokyo, or break it and continue to the upside, or break it to the downside? As you can see here, the London tested, basically a little supply zone in the Tokyo, which it supported. And then, as you can see here, kind of worked its way down, retrace, and then made a potential opportunity for a short here on the way down. Then you can kind of see here the same thing. Again, the Tokyo worked its way down. Then you can see it reverse course during the London. It broke the Tokyo high, right? Then that gives you your cue to lean on longs for the rest of the trading session. In this case, you see here, you had a nice break of structure here, new high, had an opportunity potentially for a retrace to go long. This is around 11 o'clock on that day to go long on gold, right? A potential, basically called market structure play, right? Where you look at that break of structure, right? You'd use your fib from that low to that high, get in that 50 or 60% retrace to go long. Again, and it's not fail proof. As you can see here, you had kind of a similar thing here where Tokyo set a high, the London broke it, but then see how the New York just reversed. So it's not 100%, but at least gives you a pretty good ballpark idea, trend wise, how to trade the session. So I always look at, how does the London trend with the Tokyo? Is there a clear trend? Now, sometimes you get what I call inside day. In this case, you see here where the Tokyo, right, had a pretty good sized range where it kind of had a top, reached the bottom, and then you see how the London stayed inside that. When you see that happen, and then you see these sessions, no session breaks it, then you play that like balance. You can kind of see where I kind of drew these little pivot zones on top and bottom, and then you look for opportunities to trade supply or demand zones that are aligned with the upper and lower limits of that area of consolidation.